This one right there. Okay, go.
There you go. Should we just start this whole thing over again?
All right. Oh, hold on. All right, so let's do a brief rerun. Thank you for that, Stevie boy.
Thank you. We're going to start from the beginning.
Just quickly, just briefly, and then we'll go right back up to where we are.
All right, sure. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the Jump Cut. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm Black Wolverine. This is my friend Freddie Flintstone.
Al Dwayne, how are you?
And basically, we're here to talk about the movie Shazam and the movie Highwaymen. Also, we're going to find out about Steve watching Scream 4 for the first time.
I liked it.
So far, but right now we're in the middle of geek news. We have a couple things we want to talk about. First things first, WWE Hall of Fame. Yes, WWE Hall of Fame. Basically, Bret the Hitman Hart was giving his Hall of Fame speech, and all of a sudden,
they missed the whole Sasha Grey conversation.
They missed the whole side. Listen, we're not gonna go back to that. We're just gonna go briefly
went
through
full
this
sicko
stuff.
mode and they missed it.
We're just gonna go briefly through this. Now, if we get back to Sasha Grey, then we'll talk about Sasha Grey.
Quick summary: I only know her from Saints Row the Third as Viola DeWinter,
and I only know her from the
pornography.
Entourage.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen a porn with Sasha Grey. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Bret the Hitman Hart was attacked during his speech by an audience member wearing a dreadlock wig. Yeah.
I want to pretend that I didn't hear this before. Oh, really interesting.
Yeah, he wore a Rasta hat and a dreadlock wig. He was beat up by Ronda Rousey's husband and a couple other wrestlers.
Yeah, and then we had a discussion. Ronda Rousey was in a couple of movies.
And that's how we got to Sasha Grey.
And then we got to Sasha Grey.
See? Next up, the Eternals. Right, we were talking about the Eternals movie because Marvel just announced that Kumail Nanjiani from the Big Sick in Silicon Valley will be in the new Eternals movie. Now, we don't know too much about this Eternals movie as of yet, but it could be the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
And then I continue to say, I feel like I'm role-playing right now. We're playing D&D. Then I, Steve, continue to say, wow, I don't think I can tell anything about this because I'm always wrong about my assumptions.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen.
And then I said that I lost faith in. Then I said I lost faith in the MCU, and then I said I was going to rant about the Avengers.
And I said, wait, because now Marvel has announced the new Hawkeye TV show,
and we're going really meta right now.
It's okay.
We're going almost as meta as Scream 4. Stay tuned.
Marvel announced Hawkeye TV show to deal with Clint Barton, Hawkeye, passing the mantle to Kate Bishop of the Young Avengers, who is the new Hawkeye.
Yeah, and this is the last thing that I did say before we cut out, man. We're doing a good job with the recap.
Yeah.
Hawkeye and Black Widow, I feel like, are the characters we know the least about in terms of like actual characters in the core MCU.
Got you. I do know a little bit of about Black Widow because I know that she's a spy and a lot of stuff. But that's like, interesting.
But Hawkeye was just kind of like there for his powers,
right?
So
I mean, he doesn't have any powers.
Well, his powers is skill.
Okay.
Batman doesn't have powers. His powers are Krav Maga.
His powers is the fact that he's rich.
And Krav Maga.
I don't think that's that much.
Do you think you could be Batman and not know Krav Maga?
I think you could be Batman without knowing how to fight. I think so.
All right, chat. Do you think you could be Batman without knowing Krav Maga?
I think so.
If you don't know Krav Maga, you might as well just be like Robin.
I got you, but you could just sit in your car and just shoot somebody from your car.
Yes, but he doesn't kill.
Batman does. He kills.
He used to kill. Bob Kane's Batman.
I've seen him kill.
What are you talking about? Batman vs Superman?
He's killed a couple people.
Ugh.
You could say Batman doesn't kill, but Batman
doesn't kill.
He does kill.
He doesn't kill. He's not going to pop out.
Why do you think Robin left Batman?
Robin left Batman because Robin wants to do Nightwing stuff.
Okay, but anyway, speaking of Marvel's Avengers,
see, they're on my side.
Okay, whatever. If they're your friends. But there's also other shows that Disney Plus has announced: Winter Soldier and Falcon, Vision and Scarlet Witch, and the Loki show. So here's my question to you: with all these new movies that are being announced, okay, these new TV shows that are being announced, do you think that they're better than the Netflix shows?
Before we get to that, I have a very big issue with one of those three shows.
Loki?
I was going to remain very neutral on that. You know, we have the 2-month rule.
Okay.
Are we going with that?
A 2 month for what?
For spoilers?
We can spoil.
Okay. Loki's dead. What are they going to do with Loki's show? Is he going to be an angsty orphan?
I don't know exactly what's going on. He is the king of mischief. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be about. I do know that there's going to be what happened?
He doesn't kill. He just so well breaks necks, spines, throws people off buildings, and he might kill people.
See? I'm not crazy.
He doesn't kill nobody. He could break a neck.
He killed the Joker.
You could break a neck without killing someone.
There's a story about
he shot a god, but he got mummified.
Yeah. Batman is a killer. Batman has lived long enough to be a villain.
Batman's lived for like 100 years.
Yeah, year one. We saw him in year one and year Batman Beyond.
Year one was cool.
But what do you think that these Disney Plus shows, are going to be better than the Netflix shows, or do you think they're going to disappoint?
I can't say. One thing I do know about Disney is this band called Ice Nine Kills. Mm-hmm. They released this album where every track's based on a horror film, and they wanted to play at a venue in Orlando, and Disney said they sound too evil, so they canceled them from playing the venue.
Wow. And this is why you have something against Disney?
No, that happened a day or two ago. Uh-huh. But based on that, they're not that evil, but they have a gritty sound, and these shows would be inherently gritty. So I don't know if Disney's going to Disneyfy it a little too much, but who knows? Maybe we'll get Hawkeye and Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, I mean, my only thing with these Disney Plus shows, I feel like it's going to be filling in the fluff that we normally don't get from the movies. So whereas I don't think I would be that hyped to see a Hawkeye movie, but if there's a Hawkeye TV show where I get to learn a little bit more about Hawkeye, I think that would be okay. Same thing with the Winter Soldier and Falcon. I think it'd be okay.
I think those would be really good. I think that Winter Soldier and Falcon would be really interesting. Are those one show?
That's one show.
That'd be really interesting, that dynamic.
I don't know how I feel about Vision and Scarlet Witch, though.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think I care about that.
Scarlet Witch, wasn't she in House of M?
I think so.
Did you read that one or no?
No.
House of M, I think that's where when Scarlet Witch just went full AWOL sicko mode and then just tried to kill all of the X-Men.
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
Yeah, I know, but if the show goes well, we might see a House of M arc.
I don't know, but I don't see these shows being better than the Netflix Marvel shows.
I mean, considering that The Punisher was half filler.
And you still haven't seen Daredevil season 3.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Yeah, you're slacking.
Still slacking.
We're gonna have to review it just for you to watch it. It was so good.
I'm sure it was good, but I watched Punisher all in one day, and it was good for all of half the episodes.
All right, let's move on. Announced is LeBron James will be starting the Space Jam movie, written by, wait for it, Ryan Coogler.
Woohoo! Space Jam is the best movie ever made.
Oh, okay.
And you can quote me on that.
Oh.
There's never been a movie better than Space Jam. Godfather? No. Goodfellas? Not a chance.
But Space Jam does it for you?
Space Jam's got it.
So here's the problem. Here's the issue. LeBron and Warner Brothers can't find basketball players with high potential to play the other guys. So remember in the original Space Jam,
Michael Jordan.
You had, but I'm talking about Charles Barkley was in there.
That's true.
Patrick Ewing, Muggsy Bogues, all the other stars of the NBA were there. So now the stars like Steph Curry, James Harden, Kevin Durant, they're not going to be able to be in it because this is they have a contract with Nike.
Yeah.
All this Space Jam is based off of the Nike commercial that they came out with beforehand. So now all these other people who have sneaker contracts, like Steph Curry is under Under Armour. James Harden is with Adidas.
I know all these names.
And Kevin Durant just doesn't want to do it. So I don't know. How do you think kids would react to a Space Jam now?
I mean, I guess the same way kids would react to a Dora the Explorer live-action movie.
That's what I'm saying. Who was the Space Jam movie for?
It's for me. It's literally just me.
Just you?
I'm going to be the only one in that audience.
Because there's no Looney Tunes now. You understand what I mean? So I don't know.
Oh, and I'm gonna put this here so you can see the chat too.
What does it say?
No, it just says sports.
Oh, sports.
Sports. Sports talk.
Yes, I'm a sports guy. Let's talk about Magic Johnson. No. Next up, Idris Elba has just been announced that he's added to this Suicide Squad 2. Originally,
We announced that last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah.
All
we
right.
did that last week. Sorry, fellas. Briefly, Idris Elba now added to Suicide Squad as a non-Will Smith role.
Yeah. So
I remember this.
Oh, we did. We definitely did. Okay.
Yeah. Due to respect to him, what happened?
Oh, don't talk smack about Dora.
Oh, chat. Thank you.
Explore great. Dora the Explorer is the first Lara Croft. I believe she is the first Tomb Raider. I'm not sure.
Wasn't Tomb Raider before Dora the Explorer the game?
Yes.
With the triangle breasticles?
Yes, it was actually. I'm not sure when Dora the Explorer came out, but I do know Tomb Raider came out.
I didn't know she's been 13 for 20 years. So, is she 10? How old is she?
I don't know. There's been 2 Dora the Explorers. There's been 2 voices for Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, but how old's the character?
The character? We have to Google this. I'll Google it.
Yo, chat, could you Google how old Dora the Explorer is?
Yeah, and get back to us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, chat. Making you do our dirty work.
Thank you. We really need to find out how old Dora is.
This is the objective for the show.
It's okay, but in the meantime, let's talk about the Stranger Things D&D starter set. Yeah.
I started playing a D&D campaign.
Oh, have you? Okay.
I started playing it about like 9-10 months ago. And I just can't imagine a Stranger Things themed one ever since I started it.
It's very weird. It's chronicling the first season. It's really retro, but super limited. It's for people who have never played D&D before, basically. And it's like an intro to it. It makes mention of the show, but it's a whole new story. So the characters, when there was like Will the Wise.
Oh, so it's like a pre-written story.
Kind of, yeah. It was like
that ruins it because the D&D is all about going off the beaten path.
It also is a beaten path, but it's also a campaign, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I've never played D&D, so I don't know.
D&D is like school
me.
You're basically role playing, right? Like you build a character that with a backstory that you can get involved with. You build his stats and everything, or her stats, or its stats. It could be whatever the hell you want in D&D. But like you have like a main campaign, and then you have like side arcs that you go into. But like, if you don't go into the side arcs, it's not as fun, you know. Like I spent an entire session trying to read a rock.
Well, it was very vague because when they opened it up, he says it's on it. When they opened up the box, I watched the whole unboxing of this.
Yeah,
it was very vague. It had a lot of paper. It had like 2 demigorgons and some dice.
Well, the lot of paper is probably for what's called the Dungeon Master.
Okay.
Who orchestrates the campaign.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what was going on. I was just like, ugh. You know what? I think, you know what I really want to do?
What?
I really want to, let's have like a D&D thing. We'll do this for content. We'll have a D&D game match. And I really want to see what goes on at these D&D things.
So I was the reason I started D&D is because I had like a birthday party. I invited a friend over who played it. I'm like, let's play a session. And I didn't realize that like you could spend like 2 or 3 hours just creating characters.
Okay.
And then, so like you gotta have that ready. So if we do one, it's got to be like a predetermined thing.
I guarantee you, I'm going to be irritable through the whole thing.
I'm irritable now. I take shots of moonshine while I'm playing D&D.
Oh my god.
Twin stills, perfect moonshine.
All right. Well, we have 2 more things to talk about. Aquaman 2 was just announced. It's coming out December 16th, 2022.
That's all we have on that.
That's all we have on that. But in the meantime, we should be waiting for Joker, Birds of Prey, and Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, what happened? 10 to 13 different iterations. Not sure about Michael Bay Door. What? Michael Bay's directing the new movie? Is he?
I don't think so.
No,
I think he's
not.
talking about Dora.
He said Michael Bay Dora.
Who is Michael Bay Dora?
Steve, are you joshing me?
Now I'm going to have to find out about Dora the Explorer.
He's joshing us. He's definitely no way.
Not twice in the same day?
That's why I'm wearing this shirt. You're not allowed here.
He's so not Steve, man.
By the way, speaking of Steve, you can tune into our streams at Steve Squared every Friday from 6 to 9. So we're playing Beyond Two Souls. We're finishing it up.
So Dora the Explorer started in 2000.
I thought it was older.
No.
He says he thinks it's for realsies. I don't know. Anyway, back to the show.
Dora the Explorer started in 2000, ended in 2014. So 14 years of Dora.
Wow.
That's 5 seasons less than Law and Order SVU.
Okay, that's the way to measure it.
I measure long shows by that.
not by like Friends.
No,
which is like 20 seasons.
No, they have more. No, they have more seasons than Friends. I'm almost positive. If it's 14 seasons, they have more seasons than Friends. Less seasons than
Simpsons.
Simpsons. Yeah.
Simpsons is the GOAT for seasons.
I think so.
I think it's ending its run soon, isn't it?
It should be. It's been on air for like 35 years, man.
I know South Park's been going for a bit too.
South Park needs to die.
They want it to die.
Oh my God! Why are these shows still on the air?
Yeah, all right, so it's been debunked. It is James Bobbin.
Who is that?
I don't know, but it's not Michael Bay, so I feel better instantly.
All right, cool. All right, let's talk about James Gunn's Brightburn.
Yes. Yeah, I showed you that trailer, I think.
Yeah, we call this the horror Superman.
Yes, thanks to actually Steve here who sent it to me.
Oh my God. Basically, Brightburn is the it's not related to DC, but it's what we call horror Superman. The premise is, what if a child from another world crash landed on Earth, and instead of being a hero, he proved to be something far more sinister.
Yeah, it legitimately looks like a horror film. This is before I was like super into the horror game. Mm-hmm. So just seeing that, like, this looks really cool.
Yeah, so. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I have no words. I'm all for it. I want to see what's going to happen.
I'm really excited
because I always say, what if something else happened? What if the bad guys win? Like, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I know you're not all for that.
I'm having angry flashbacks to Avengers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you want to do that? You want to go?
No,
through?
I'll hold it.
All right, that's enough.
Just so you know, peeps, I rewatched Avengers: Infinity War after not being too hot on it the first time. It's not that great. Okay, I'm not. Okay.
We're finished with geek news. Let's move on to your review of Scream 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing that this week. All right, let me recollect my thoughts. Scream 4, first thing I noticed was that it felt like it was really meta, and I think they actually called it meta in the movie. I liked and I liked where they were going with it. I think that when I was watching it, it had it did give me vibes of the second movie.
Okay.
And I think, and just going through it, seeing the plot like unfold and kind of like go through like back and forth which character is which, and that's the one with the director is the third one, right?
The director, yes.
So which one was the fourth one?
The fourth one is the one that started with all the stab movies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scream 4 is a lot of fun. I think it just. It felt like when I was watching the Scream movies, I was watching a TV show, which actually exists. There's a Scream TV show that I have not seen.
I am not watching the Scream TV show. I'm not.
All right, chat. What do you think? Do you think we should torture Nigel and make him watch the Scream TV show to review?
Oh my God! How many seasons?
Like 3.
Oh my God!
Apparently. The movie's like, what if General Zod landed in Kal-El's place? That's kind of the concept of this.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But anyway, there's really not much for me to say about it. It was a fun movie. It was very meta. It was very much like self-aware about what it was. Mm-hmm. And as
he said yes.
He said yes.
Oh my God.
So it looks like we're watching the Scream TV show.
You gotta give me some time on that.
I'll give you 2 weeks.
Oh my God, I'm already still tired from Highwayman.
But overall, I thought that the movie. It sounds really vague because I'm trying to remember. I saw this 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It was. Was that the one that had the? Sorry, I watched them all together, so I'm confusing all the movies. Was that the one with the tape from the character from the first movie?
No, that was the third one. You're still mixing the third one. And I told you, and before we started this whole Scream thing, I said, listen, watch the first one, watch the fourth one.
I like the second one.
It's cool.
I would have missed out on the second one.
I get it, but you watch the third one, which you can't get that back.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was like...
You had Kenny from the Cosby Show in there. Like, there was no like big name actors in that Scream 3 whatsoever. None.
Scream 3, one thing I do give it props for is it was very meta in the fact of it being meta. Like, it was it was basically, what if the Scream series sold out and went to Hollywood? And that's what the movie was. I thought that was really funny.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was.
What'd you think?
Scream 4. I like Scream 4. I like it more than Scream 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'd rank it 1, 4, 2, and 3.
Right, but that's what I was telling you.
1, 4, 2. Anything else they'd release, and then 3.
3 is horrible, man.
I'd put 5 before 3, and 5 doesn't even exist.
But like I said, they were just trying to cash in because the first Scream movie came out in 1995, 96. Second one came out in 98. Third one came out in 2000. So they just kept coming and coming, and they just got worse and worse. And the level of acting, like they started out with big name actors. If you look, the first Scream, Drew Barrymore's in it.
Yeah.
You know, the second Scream, you have Sarah Michelle Gellar, you have Joshua Jackson, you have everybody that was at the height of like that teen, like late 90s.
And then you have Liev Schreiber and
well, he's in all of them.
Yeah, but
he wasn't a big name.
The first one.
He was.
Was he? I didn't see him in the first.
He was Cotton Weary in the first.
I know he was Cotton Weary, but I didn't see him.
He was in it.
Was he just like passively shown?
Passively shown because he wasn't a big name.
Yeah. I feel like I would have recognized. He has a really recognizable face.
Right.
I would have looked at him like, man, that's Wolverine's brother.
But this is before Wolverine. This is before Ray Donovan. So he wasn't a name.
I know.
Like, and you know, you have like Timothy Olyphant, who wasn't a name at the time.
Timothy Olyphant was great in that, but also it kind of sucks because when watching it, I knew who Timothy Olyphant was. So me knowing who Timothy Olyphant was and the kind of character he plays, I'm like, all right, that's probably who it is.
But the funny thing is, out of everyone in Scream 2, the most famous people in Scream 2 die in the first scene. Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith, because at the time they had like 3 or 4 movies under their belt.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, you know, that person from this. You know, you had Courtney Cox. She was on Friends, but she wasn't known as a movie actor at all. And back then, movie and TV were 2 different animals. They didn't mess with each other.
Yeah. Well, now we have like very cinematic shows like Game of Thrones.
Right.
And we have really budget TV shows like Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Oh God! Don't say that because I'm going to see Kevin James this weekend.
Nigel, the man who knows everyone.
I don't know him. I just know I run into him.
All right. Next up, what are you doing? Want to do Highwayman?
We can do Highwayman.
All right. Let me get in my comfy position here.
Don't worry. This is going to be a 2-second review.
He loved it in short.
Highwayman is a movie starring Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. Those are 2 great actors, and I will never take that away from them. But Highwayman is the story about two law officials, 2 marshals, who are trying to catch Bonnie and Clyde. The movie is very slow paced, and I fell asleep several times, and I did not know what was going on the whole movie. It was just them in a car riding around
multiple times.
No, I tried to pay attention, lost all attention. It was very slow paced. They drove around so many different times. It was like a Western version of Fast and the Furious. Like I could not do it. It was so like there were so many different times that they could have caught Bonnie and Clyde, and you never really get to see Bonnie and Clyde. So
I could defend that because the movie's not about Bonnie and Clyde.
It's not
catching Bonnie and Clyde,
right? But it's supposed to be the opposite. Normally, we get the Bonnie and Clyde movie. This is the opposite. This is from their perspective.
Yeah.
The issue I had with it was the fact that it was just so slow paced that I was just like, there's no action. There was them in a car. Woody Harrelson's a drunk. The other guy is
he ever anything else?
Listen, I like Woody Harrelson.
So do I, but he plays drunks.
He does. I
mean, you saw Zombieland?
I've never finished watching Zombieland. No.
Zombieland 2 is going to exist, I think, this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
With the same guy that played Lex Luthor?
Yeah. Lex Luthor is going to be a Zombieland boy, Jesse Heisenberg.
Yeah, I watched The Social Network or whatever. I wasn't a fan.
You gotta watch Zombieland.
All right, I'll put that on my list.
And Cabin in the Woods.
I'll watch Cabin in the Woods if you watch Lost Boys.
All right, deal.
All right.
Next week is planned.
All right,
you're part of our process. This is exactly how much effort
this is how we do this.
This is how much effort we put into planning our show.
Yeah, and like what's coming out next week that we're probably gonna watch?
Avengers?
No, not Avengers. Something's coming out next week.
There's a few things coming out next week.
Pet Sematary came out last week. So
I don't know if I want to see
Hellboy comes out.
Oh, Hellboy.
Hellboy comes out.
Look at that. See the process.
This is a process.
Behind the scenes look.
Yeah. So
you can see how prepared we are. Look at that. I brought my flannel and everything.
Hey, listen, I got flashcards, man.
I got pop vinyl. This one's mine this time. I love you, Alduin.
Yeah, but I particularly didn't care for Highwaymen. And I looked up the reviews for it, and either people were like, it's okay, or they were like, I can't do this. And I watched a good hour and a half of this movie. It's about 2 hours long. I missed the last half hour because I just did not care enough to just finish it. I didn't.
This reminds me of the conversation that we had where if a show is garbage for like the first like 2/3 of it, but like the final like 2 episodes are amazing, it's still a bad show.
I guess, but
so
that's,
if Highwaymen was redeemed with a really amazing ending,
I don't think it would be a great ending. I think with movies, it's like I said, I take everything as an experience as canon. So, like for instance, you don't like Infinity War. My thought process is I need to watch the other half of this movie before I say how I feel about this movie.
I know, but
it's a completionist thing.
The movie was designed to only be watched once.
No, it wasn't. It was supposed to be a part 1 and a part 2.
All right, I'll go into my rant next week.
Okay, but it was supposed to be a part 1 and a part 2.
I'm about to bust out in full rant mode.
Listen, how much time we got?
We got 20 minutes. We got to review. Shazam.
We can review Shazam quick. If you want to rant, go ahead.
Let's wait for next week.
All right, no problem.
Because next week will be more relevant. Because then we could do.
Because then it's like the week after. Okay, no problem. So let's go into Shazam.
So overall, would you recommend watching The Highwayman? It sounds like a yes.
Hell no.
It sounds like a yes to me.
This is the worst movie I've ever seen. Kevin Costner has done some...
You've ever seen?
Okay, let me rephrase that. Ever seen, because I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've seen
Hell or High Water, and that movie was critically praised.
Let me just say this. It is the slowest movie I've ever seen. The slower pacing of this movie. Had I had the patience to watch this, I could do it. But I live in a millennial age. I don't do this. Everything has to be fast, has to be something happens. What happens?
Strange way to say 10 out of 10, but okay.
Yeah. I hate it.
10 out of 10, he loves it.
Yeah, I hate it, but it's okay. It's Netflix, and like somebody said, I was looking at the reviews, somebody said, and this is what Netflix does. Netflix either buys a movie that was at Sundance, or they put out money to make a movie. And the issue is sometimes...
Is this a Sundance one, or is this...
I think this was a Sundance one. I'm not sure.
Because I know Netflix go shopping about...
Right, they bought my movie, so
they had the money.
In fact, I was gonna shout out to Michael Larnell. I'm gonna hit him up this week, but yeah.
Anyways, let's do Shazam. This is Shazam speak.
Shazam, the movie that does not have Shaquille O'Neal in it. Let me just say that. Did you know that? So like a lot of people, like even my sister, I said, hey, I just went to go see Shazam. She's like, isn't like Shaquille O'Neal in that movie? Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
No.
There is a movie that Shaquille O'Neal had called Shazam.
Well, that was the Genie one.
The Genie movie. So a lot of people have been mixing this up.
What didn't people like confuse? Wasn't there this whole like Mandela effect about some other actor playing the...
It was Sinbad in the Genie movie.
Okay.
The Mandela effect. Yeah, that was Sinbad. This is different.
Yeah, no, but they had one for Shazam.
Right. No, they were talking about, they thought Sinbad was associated looking like Shazam.
No, there was an actual Mandela effect, like
where they think the name of Sinbad's guy is Shazam.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is that people were talking about the actors. Like, I'm pretty sure he played the genie in Shazam, and the guy's like, I have never been in that movie in my life.
I'm telling you, they're saying we can Google this. We can Google this. They think there's a lot of people. There's a series of people that think that Sinbad the comedian was in a movie called Shazam, a Genie movie called Shazam.
Oh my! The Mandela effect becomes reality with this scene from Sinbad's Genie movie. Shazam.
He made.
No, wait, hold on.
Yeah, he made it up.
Hold up.
Because everybody thought he was in a Genie movie. He just dressed like a genie. That's what was going on.
All right. I'm going to look at this off camera. We'll talk about it again next episode.
Okay, no problem.
But
Shazam.
Shazam. Okay.
Shouldn't we turn into like a superhero by saying this or not?
Shazam!
I think that's the corniest name for like a superhero.
I mean, it was Captain Marvel.
I mean, I get it.
I saw both Captain Marvels.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, this one was better. Shazam basically is about a young kid who is granted powers from a wizard named Shazam. He's given the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, stamina of Achilles, power of Zeus, courage of Achilles. I'm sorry, stamina of Atlas, courage of Achilles, and speed of Mercury.
All right, let me just rewind this a bit.
Okay.
The start of the movie, right?
Right.
Which laid my first real issue with this movie.
Okay.
Which kind of is two of my main issues. The first scene you have is a kid in the back of the car going somewhere on like a Christmas vacation with with his dad and his brother, and his dad and his brother are like mercilessly like just attacking the kid, like for like no reason.
Right.
And then the kid then you find out. And this is like, I'm going to try and stay spoiler free with this as I can.
Okay.
The kid gets teleported into the world where he meets the original Shazam.
Yes.
Who's trying to find someone to take heir to his throne. And that's like his goal, is to find someone to take heir to his throne in order to prevent the evils from coming out and attacking the world. And the kid got sent back, but then the scene kept going.
Right.
And usually when you have flashback scenes like that, that's really not the case. Flashback scenes in those scenarios is mainly that you have the scene establishes its point, then the scene ends.
Okay.
But it kept going. I don't know if you noticed that too.
I noticed it. I was just waiting for it to actually start.
Yeah.
You know.
And that leads to my second point.
Okay.
The movie was like, it felt like it was directed by two people. Because I'm watching it, and at the beginning, I didn't get the feel at all. Hey, Jason, thanks for tuning in. I'm watching it, and I didn't get the feel at all that, like, from what I saw in the trailers, which is why I wanted to see the movie. Okay. This is a movie where if you see the trailer and you liked what you saw, then you will like the movie. It's just simple as that.
Right.
But watching it, the movie goes from very dark, borderline horror at points.
Well,
to like,
you know why, right?
Well, we'll get into that in a second. To very like upbeat, happy kind of like comedy.
Right.
So the switch back and forth, like the character designs for like the demons are brilliant. They're gorgeous, and they look like they could be terrifying in the right movie.
The Seven Deadly Sins, yeah.
Yeah, but when you're going going back and forth, you know, like I was having so much fun on the Shazam side. Then I like with the kid, even before like the kid became Shazam, just on that side, I was having way more fun there than I was in like the dark and dreary scenes.
With Dr. Savannah. His name was.
Well, his name was Thad. I remember too.
Thad Savannah.
Thad Savannah. I kept calling him Thad.
Oh.
Because Thad the Chad.
Did you catch the
one part directed by Shazam, the other part directed by Kazam.
Did you catch the Black Adam Easter egg that happened in the beginning? Or no?
I didn't catch the Easter egg, but I did have like a suspicion that Black Adam, I thought he was going to be in it.
I thought, I really wanted The Rock to be in this movie.
But I'm glad that he wasn't, because this movie is about Shazam. It's establishing a character not a lot of people know.
Well, did you hear about why he wasn't in the movie or no?
No.
So this weekend, The Rock actually produced the movie. He actually had a hand in producing the movie. But what he said was originally DC wanted a Black Adam and Shazam movie. They wanted to tell two origin stories at the same time, which doesn't make sense. How do you tell two origins at the same time? So what they did was they said, you know what, this needs to be separate. It needs to be a Black Adam movie and a Shazam movie. So what's going to happen is, and it's kind of hard to do that because both of their stories are actually intertwined. Both of them are like, Black Adam is actually the first person to get the powers. Remember in the beginning when he said, I gave my powers away.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
So that's who Black Adam was supposed to be.
Yeah, I may have walked into the movie maybe a minute late.
It's okay.
But the...
I don't think that's a spoiler either.
It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But seeing the movie, I just couldn't help but feel like that half of it I thoroughly enjoyed and the other half I felt mad about, Well,
did you know that the director of this movie is a horror producer? Like
he is?
He's never directed. Because
the movie got really dark, and
especially that scene when they were in the boardroom.
Yeah, because but that's another scene that went a little too long.
Right.
But I really liked when it went to that horror aspect, because it felt like what I enjoy about DC. You know, DC gets way darker than Marvel.
It does, but most
of their heroes are at night. They're night dwellers. Crazy stuff happens at night.
But the funniest thing is, this is the first like family-friendly DC film. Sort of.
I know that if I was a kid, I would not be able to endure those demons.
Those demons were something else, especially if they're throwing people out the window.
Yeah,
that was the issue.
They were going venom on people.
Right. So David Sandberg, who is the director, he directed Annabelle Creation, Lights Out, and a couple other horror shorts.
Which one was Lights Out?
I don't know what Lights Out was, but those are the two movies
that's not the one with the that's not the one where the kids break into the blind dude's house, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm the wrong person to ask, but
okay. But yeah, so watching that movie, that's the feel I was getting, and the scenes being too long, that kind of contributed to it. As the movie is going and the kid gets his power as Shazam and he's discovering what Shazam could do, I loved that.
I love that part about it also.
His friend was who we were living vicariously through.
Frankie.
He was our looking glass into the movie.
Right.
Because he knew the superhero stuff, like the audience, the typical stuff, and he was trying to figure out what it was. And one thing I do kind of wish that they did more at the movie is I wish that they did the kind of thing where they do for first movies, where they kind of experiment with the powers a bit, switch back and forth and whatever.
Right.
Because I think that's like super cool.
I think so. But I did like the fact that he didn't know what his powers were. I think I did. What did it say on the?
Oh, he said, wasn't that the one based on the horror short Lights Out?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, I did like that part. I like the fact that they played with his powers. But there's certain things that I have issues with as well. And I understand Billy Batson is a young kid. There's a young kid inside of Shazam, so he's going to be a little goofy.
And also, like, he took a gamble with the kid.
Yeah,
because the kid was he didn't get a chance to go through the trials and everything.
Right.
He's kind of like, dude, I'm about to die
here.
Like right now, just take this.
Say my name.
Just say my name. It's like, I don't know your name. But the movie, when it got dark, it gave me Titans vibes.
It did. The only real issues I had, there was a couple of issues I had. I won't give away the big spoiler, because I did like that. I did like what happened at the end. Yeah. I feel like a lot of movies,
that was really cool.
I feel like a lot of movies would make me wait till the second movie to watch it, and I like the fact that they pushed it, because they never knew if they're going to get a sequel for this.
Yeah.
But the thing that kind of bothered me was that I get it. He is a young kid inside of there, but the S, Solomon, the wisdom of Solomon, did he seem wise at all?
No.
Nothing. But my favorite, but also I'm on the fence with it, because also my favorite part is when he's on top of that. I guess it's a library, wherever like Rocky, like ran up to, and he's like hands lightning with my hands. He's doing like a whole show for these people.
Eye the tiger.
Yeah, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world until the kid kicks the speaker.
I don't know. The movie, it got laughs out of me, but they were more of the subtle jokes.
Yeah.
It was like, if it was something just very, very subtle, I loved it.
Yeah, it wasn't. Not all the jokes landed, but when they did land, they were really funny.
But what I got to give them the props for is that a lot of these movies that are so focused on comedy, when they make a joke like that and the joke doesn't land, you got to sit there for like a few seconds.
Yeah,
because they know they want to fit in a laugh in. They can't do laugh tracks in a movie.
Right.
So, but I think that overall, I really enjoyed the movie. My main complaint was, like I said, the first two things with the pacing in terms of scenes and with the big dynamic switch back and forth. Right. And like, because I would have been fine if it was either a dark movie or if it was like the full comedy. But the darkness kind of like got me a little bit bored. Yeah. And I felt like I literally had to switch my brain over.
Exactly.
To those scenes. But then at the end, they fit in what I wanted, was him going back and forth from Shazam and not Shazam. Right. I'm just thinking, he's like a teenager, preteen era.
He's like 15.
Yeah, so like If I was 15, I would abuse the hell out of those powers.
Oh yeah, me too.
But what I do like is that this is not a horror movie. This is a comedy set in a modern era superhero movie, where people are acting as they would if it like happened today, and that's what I really appreciated. Mm-hmm. He flossed. That's 1,000 IQ.
Yeah, he did. He did floss. He did.
He flossed.
He dabbed in like the trailer too, but they didn't show it in the movie.
I thought they were going to do the Batman scene either.
Yeah, I don't want to give that spoiler away as well.
Yeah.
But I did like how they had so many like little Easter eggs, little mentions to.
It wasn't little. They straight up mentioned other characters.
Right.
Like they straight up like mentioned people like Superman and everything.
He
like,
threw a Batman toy at the guy. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Mm. But and also the movie has some pretty good post-credit scenes. I want to give that too.
Okay.
So, but yeah, overall, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Shazam. I think I would definitely watch it again. Unlike Infinity War, I think that DC's finally going uphill.
Yeah, I think I just can't wait for the next couple of movies that DC puts out. Yeah, it's getting better. It used to be just that the animated films were better than the movies, but now it's coming full circle, you know. And it's not as dark. This is the first non-dark DC movie besides Green Lantern.
That was an amazing movie.
You know, so
I'm trying to think if I'm trying to get that point. I mean, you have Doom Patrol, which really isn't that dark.
It's not dark, but it's not a movie.
Yeah, I know, but that's like the closest I could really think, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe because they see people who are actually giving their shows a chance.
I mean, they tried to do lighthearted DC movies, but they sucked. Superman 3 was probably the first one. Superman 4 was...
You count Suicide Squad? And that was kind of lighthearted.
And it had to be because... And Justice League, they had to be because Marvel was kicking their ass with this stuff.
They had to recut it like to be like the trailer.
Right, and Josh Whedon was had to direct it because what's it called? Zack Snyder, who I have an issue with Zack Snyder, but yeah, Zack Snyder has his own cut. Actually, I don't know if you heard about that. He has his own cut of Justice League.
Did he release it?
He's about to release it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, he's about to release it.
So let's wrap up this review.
Okay.
Overall, I would recommend Shazam. The highlights of my review, I didn't like the. I'm just going to go negative first because we do that.
Okay.
I didn't like how some scenes overstayed their welcome.
Okay.
I don't like the huge dramatic shift between the dark and lighter elements of it. And I think that it could have benefited more if it lost those dark elements, or they were softened or shortened. We could have gotten more of him playing with the powers, which would have been a lot of fun.
Exactly.
Shazam would be a cool TV show.
It would. I actually did like it. My issues are the same. I just wish that, like that one scene that had the 7 deadly sins, they were doing a lot of horrific things that was like, yo, wait a minute, the tone was off. I think that's what we're saying. The tone was off. So like, if this is a movie that you want to see with your kids or your nephew, it was PG-13.
Yeah, they dropped some curses in there.
Right, but it wasn't a lot. That's the thing.
Well, they dropped the PG-13 curses.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, I want to take my nephews to see it, but there's certain parts of the movie that's like, yo, this is a little rough. If I was a kid and I saw this, I'd have been like, yo, that's murder. Batman.
He don't kill no one.
Okay.
So next segment, what are we watching? What are you up to? What you watching?
What am I watching?
Aside from the stuff we review.
I think we got a message.
Did we?
Yeah.
Tone was off in a superhero movie? Nah.
Yeah, but what I'm watching right now, I am watching Superstore. Actually, I've never gotten.
That's a great show.
Yeah, I've never got into it, so I'm watching it on Hulu. I don't know if it's canceled or not.
No, they just did a new season.
Okay, cool.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, I'm liking it so far.
There's something. You worked in retail before, right?
Yeah.
So when you work in retail like that, you have so much more fun with it.
Yeah.
Because you see that they it's like a little bit of a love letter and a hate letter to people who worked in retail and the retail environment. And the Superstore is like a Walmart ripoff.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Cloud9.
So yeah, I'm watching that. That's about it. I started trying to watch Smallville again, but the cheesy costumes of the early 2000s were just, I couldn't do it.
I don't know. I look at it with tongue in cheek. What have I been watching? I tried watching, was it Green? I think it's called Green Wing. It was that that British show, like a British Scrubs. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get into it. Cinematography was too weird for me.
Gotcha.
What else have I been watching? There hasn't been a lot of stuff I've been watching because I watch a lot of stuff for here.
Right.
And when in my spare time, I watch a lot of stuff about like audiophile stuff.
Okay.
And I watch like tech reviews. Like Mr. Mobile's a really good channel that I watch. Mm-hmm. I find it default to YouTube, but I've been watching Corporate again. I watched the final episode of the season.
All right.
Such a good show. That's a show I definitely recommend for anyone to watch if you worked in like any corporations or you just enjoy that style of humor. Mm-hmm. It's just a really dark show. But yeah, I mean, that was the jump cut.
That's the jump cut, everybody.
Shazam was cool. He loved that movie. What was that movie?
Highwayman. Oh my God, it was amazing.
That. I remember the name, just like I remembered our show name.
Hey, but thank you guys for enjoying this ride with us. Tune in to us next week. We'll have more in store for you.
Yeah, and now I'm going to run behind the camera and turn off the stream.
Hey,
woo! Thanks for tuning in. Give us a few minutes. We're going to wrap this up, and we're going to go right over to 22 now with a special guest this week for Mark Mendoza.
Okay.
So let's get this cranking.
All right. Woo! I'm just going to stand in front of the camera. Hey, I have shows coming up. April 13th, I will be at Governor's Comedy Club. You can find me at Instagram at @NigelFullerton_. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you, and good night.